everybody. Hey, happy Friday. We're a little bit late. We're starting a little bit late because, well, if you've never heard the term
clusterfuck,
it's been one of those kind of days.
Yeah. Kids, can you spell that?
If technology is wonderful.
Yeah.
Except when it doesn't work. So that's what we're saying right now. I'm Greg Gnip. I will be your Gnyp. There's Chris Uzinski. He is your Gnop. And
don't blame me on this.
We are definitely drinking today because of what's going on. So we'll start it off this way. Everybody was excited. David J, Bauhaus, Love and Rockets, Bubbleman, Sinister Ducks, worked with the Jazz Butcher, the Night Crickets. The album got released today.
Yeah.
He's done all these other things. Just an incredible career.
Yeah.
And then technology said, Bela Lugosi's dead.
Yeah.
Instead, it's more like whatever program we're using is dead. So we apologize. So we have to push it back to February the 4th.
Yes.
So instead, today it's just going to be Chris and me
playing Bauhaus.
Playing Bauhaus. Well, and you know what's funny about Bauhaus? And I'll say it this way.
Yes, sir.
So I started DJing in the bars in 1984.
Yep, you did.
And it was at a little place in Windsor called Faces on College. And at the time, there were 3 places to hear alternative music. Faces on College, Changes by Night, and Stanley's.
Stanley's.
Remember Stanley's? To go see bands all the time.
Yes.
And the
brought
other
my
places
fake
had
ID
bands too, but Stanley's was the live music place. And because Bela Lugosi's Dead is like 9 minutes and whatever long, that was always the greatest song because halfway through the night you got to pee.
Yes, of course.
So that would be the song where you would throw it on and you'd go, I can go pee, go to the bar and get a drink, I can go talk to somebody and still come back with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And the same thing was in the early days of radio, right? Because, I remember one night being at work at 89X, having a little bit of a stomach bug.
Bug, sure.
And it was, oh my God, every song is a Ramones song. Like 2 minutes and 12 seconds, it seemed like. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I had this one section that I could always play a Phil song. And I went, Bela Lugosi's dead. And 9 minutes and 43 seconds of sheer heaven in the toilet.
Yeah.
So that's my Bauhaus story all the time. How it saved my life so many times.
Sure.
Having to go to the bathroom.
Sure.
And it was always just a great song to play.
Absolutely. And what's really kind of funny is I've been working with David J for about 6 months on this. That we were going to kind of do this, and then the release of his new album, which has been slightly kind of pushed back. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a couple of weeks. But it's so great to kind of catch up with him because what a lot of people don't understand is that he's that apex player. He's that guy who is there. This song was released in 1979 along with Susie and the Banshees released an album and The Cure released their first album, and it was the birth of gothic music, right? Of goth music, goth rock, or whatever you want to call it. And he wrote the lyrics to Bela Lugosi's Dead, so we were going to kind of talk about that. There's so much we want to catch up with him. Plus, he wants to do this wonderful song that he wrote to dedicate to Pat Fish, his dear friend from the Jazz Butcher who passed away, and so we're also going to have him play that for us in a couple weeks. So sorry guys, but we will delay it, and it's just the way it is, man. This is a live show, so
so it happens.
Take your lumps.
So since it's a live show, I'm drinking.
That's right, me too. And in honor of David J, I was drinking a Guinness, and I forgot how good these are. So so cheers to David.
Cheers to David J, to everyone. See, I went something a little bit different because I just went before we came on here. I went and did a long walk with the dogs.
Yes,
and I was cold. So I made myself a hot chocolate.
Oh.
But if you ever find Screwball peanut butter whiskey, I'm not a big flavored whiskey guy. somebody gave me a bottle of Screwball a little while ago. Peanut butter whiskey in hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peanut butter and chocolate.
And the story right there.
Yeah. And whiskey. So.
And the story right there. Yeah.
So I'm going to be doing pretty much nothing by the end of the within about 45 minutes. So
Yeah. Good for you, because we've been working our ass off for 3 hours, so it's okay.
Yeah. So.
Cheers, buddy.
So cheers.
Cheers.
Well, I guess we should start off with a little bit, well, some sad news in the world of music and the world of comedy. Meatloaf passed away yesterday at the age of 74. I haven't heard what his what the cause of it was yet.
It sounded like cancer. It sounded like cancer.
Was it? Okay.
It sounded like that. I'm not sure if it was, but that's what it sounds like.
And Louis Anderson today passed away at the age of 68 from cancer.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean, you know what? Even if you didn't like Meatloaf's music, you had to respect him as a performer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the man, I saw Meatloaf once in concert.
No way.
And I honestly had no desire to be there. And by the time I was done, it was stupid. It was so good.
He won you over?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I still wouldn't go buy the album. I still wouldn't really listen to it on the radio. But that show was so good. And then, of course, he was in Rocky Horror Picture Show. Anybody who's in Rocky Horror Picture Show does go up a step in my
He was in Americathon. That's where I remember him from. Remember that ridiculous show that was kind of based on, we're going to do a fundraiser for America's debt, and it was kind of like a comedy, like a black comedy.
Yes, you're right. I forgot all about that one.
Yeah, he was like Evil Knievel in that one.
Okay, yep. But so it's weird. It's tributes are pouring in from all sorts of people, but the thing that gets me, my one little complaint. Somebody posts blah blah blah. So and so passed away, and somebody has to go in there and go, yeah, I'm not a big fan. It's like, just let it go. No opinion needed at that time. That person is maybe a little sad that one of their favorite musicians passed away, and nobody cares that you didn't like them.
Yeah, I don't know, Greg. We grew up in a generation where the generations before us wouldn't talk bad about people that died. Right? Yep. It was really common that, he was a military leader or a really nasty business leader, but what a great guy he was right after he dies. And I don't know. I call a spade a spade. If the person's a piece of shit, I'll call them out whether they're alive or dead. I really don't care. That's just my personality, and I can live with that. Yeah, but I don't have to do it on social media.
But for me though, it's like, what's the point of saying it? Like, you know what? If somebody's talking to you about them, but it's like well, blah blah blah. It's like, you know what? Just let it go. Sometimes it's like. I posted this earlier today. When someone's going through a rough time, sit with them. No preaching, no advice, just be there.
Yeah.
And it's true, it's like, sometimes it's like, listen, you don't always have to tell us your opinion. Sometimes, like my dad used to always tell me was, right, he used to always say, Greg, you're an idiot. But then the other thing he would always say is, I think I've said this before, even a fish wouldn't get caught if it kept its mouth shut sometimes. And it's right. It's so much the truth.
Oh, and that is a wise thing to be said from a tenured professor.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's funny because the older I got and the longer I stayed in radio, radio's full of drama. Everybody is fighting with somebody. And did you know this person got a chance to do this and blah, blah, blah. And in the old days, I remember when I worked for 89X, there was the Slam book. And somebody had this brilliant idea that it was this great idea to, if you had a complaint about one of your coworkers or say a listener, You could write it down and just go, and then it started to be like, like nasty, and I won't even go into like, and some of the people that were the biggest complainers, you'd be like, what? Like, and I'm talking, this goes back like 20 years ago. And it's like, so of course, people would get all riled up. And then as I got older, I became the guy that just didn't care. You know what? Tell me that you're not happy with this person. And I'd go,
I don't care if he doesn't wash his hands when he comes in the bathroom.
Yeah, well, neither do I.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Hey, can I come over for dinner again, Chris?
Yeah, we're making hamburgers.
Yeah. I'll form them.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so there's my complaint. It's just, I like the way dogs do it. You know what?
They sniff each other's asses. That's what they do, Greg.
Well, but, oh boy, it's going to be going downhill this show quickly, isn't it?
For sure it is.
We were going to be talking and asking all these these great, questions. Instead, we're talking about sniffing asses.
There you go. The sniffing asses.
Yeah. No, but dogs do it the right way, though, right? You know what? They get angry. They snarl at each other. And then then they just move on and, like, go lie down together.
Absolutely.
As opposed to, like, humans. It's like, I'm still mad at you. I remember once telling an ex-girlfriend of mine, and, to this day, I still love her. She is absolutely one of my best friends in the whole wide world.
Okay.
But I used to tell her this. I'd say, listen, if I upset you today, tell me today, tell me tomorrow, or maybe the day after. Because after that, it really couldn't have been that big of a deal if you have to, like, if it, like, and it would be funny because there would be those times where she'd come back, she'd be like, I'm like, what's bothering you? She's like, do you remember last Wednesday? And I'm like, well, no, we weren't together on Wednesday. No,
okay.
The week before. And I'm like, no, I don't remember that I said, that, your friend Susan was a little obnoxious.
Ouch. Did you really say that?
No,
Wow.
I would never say that.
Wow.
Her name was Lisa.
You're nasty. Yeah. Yeah, I got a great friend of mine, Phil. I won't say his last name because many people know him. And I remember him saying a comment live in person in a large crowd about, she should be taking pallets of Paxil. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, talk about embarrassing stuff to say. Yeah, love it.
Yep. But right, but it's that whole thing where it's like you know what? Just sometimes, just walk away. Just. It's just sometimes easier, Like, I don't know how many times I've been like, you've got certain friends that sometimes make the same mistake over and over and over again, and now I just sometimes just go, what can I do? Yeah, they're not going to listen, and I'm not going to let it. If it was really serious and dangerous, I would, but sometimes it's just easier to kind of step away and go.
That it is. Hey, so we're still kind of in the middle of winter here, right? And we've dodged some massive bullets here in of the Midwest here in Detroit area, where we didn't get snow, whereas like Toronto got like a foot of snow or whatever they got. Well, they always seem like they get a foot of snow, and we've had this incredible kind of dry spell and lots of great weather here. So, I'm looking forward to another great winter, just kind of getting through it as fast as we possibly can, because we're coming out of our lockdown, right? We announced within the last day that we're going to be coming out of our lockdown by the end of the month.
Yes.
By about 50%.
Yep.
So I'm good with that, man. I'm good with that. We opened up a race. We opened up Canada Day, nice. Which is July 1st for our American listeners. And, the Canada Day race has not been on for 2 years because of COVID. And I'm kind of just saying, fuck it. I'm thinking, this last dose that we're going through, this last big peak, we're going to get through it really fast. It's fast acting. and not lasting. And let's just get through this fucking thing once and for all, guys. And like we need to all get back to work and doing great things.
Well, that and I see the thing that's for me that has kind of hurt me the most, and I'm going to sound really selfish this way, but God, I miss going out to eat with friends, and I just miss that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, restaurants are going to 50%, right?
Yeah.
By the 31st. So, it's a start. It's a start. Let's just see if we can keep going past that instead of going backwards.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's just, I mean, and say what you will, there's going to be there's people who believe in it, people who don't believe in it, but for me, I'm just stating my opinion. I'm so happy there were the vaccines, and then now that they've got these antiviral drugs, that's good. That's also a game changer, I think, in the world of the world of COVID, where it's like, hey, listen, if within the first 3 days you can take start taking these pills and basically stop the progression of the virus in its tracks.
Cheers to that, my friend.
Cheers. That's so the one thing is I'm going to have to give you a couple of Guinness glasses now.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. I've got some Guinness, but I need some glasses.
Yeah, you need the glass because it is so pretty to watch it cascade down the sides.
Yes, indeed.
It's you know what though?
It makes for good radio.
Oh, it makes for great radio. But I'll tell you though, it is so pretty to watch a bartender pour a pint of Guinness.
Yes.
Because what did I see? I think it's now I don't remember if it's 100. I don't remember if it's 162 and a half seconds or 192 and a half seconds. That's how long a proper pour takes.
Wow, really?
Oh yeah. It's a long time.
All right.
Yeah, so you don't so you order like 3 at once because let's be honest, that first one's going down way too fast.
It is a light beer. There was a misnomer that Guinness is a heavy beer. Guinness is a very light beer.
And I'm sorry.
It's just a very dark color.
Yep, and it's a red beer. It's actually considered a red beer.
Is it?
Yep. It's funny. It's funny that we're talking about Guinness though, because my neighbor across the street is a Guinness fan, and I've become, I remember in the old days, it would be like, if you walked into a bar and they had Newcastle brown ale on tap,
ooh,
you'd be like, oh my God, this is, and now craft beer is everywhere. There's hundreds and thousands of different craft beers. I mean, Windsor, our surrounding area has 14 craft breweries.
Jesus.
And, right, so it's easy to find craft beer. And sometimes you forget about the good old staples like that. And I was sitting in the backyard of Mike's house, Mike and Judith, and he's like, "You want a beer?" He goes, "I don't have any of that, the craft stuff." He goes, "But I have Guinness," and I'm like, I haven't had a Guinness.
I don't have any like craft stuff,
right? And like,
I love it.
That afternoon, after my 7th Guinness, I walked, across the street, and it was like, oh my God, I forgot how good it was. So, the next day, went to the liquor store and picked up some Guinness and realized that, it's tasty.
Yes, it is.
Now, did you drink Guinness though when you were younger?
No.
No.
No. When I got older.
Yeah.
I drank vodka when I was young.
Did you? Well, yeah. But
I'm Polish. What the hell do you want from me?
Well, yeah. but I still remember going to the Dom Polski with you.
Yeah.
And meeting and drinking the 8-ounce glasses of beer and buying shots of vodka.
Yep. And rye. Yep.
And rye.
Yep. I remember those days. Kind of. Long time ago. Anyway, on next week's show, we got a really good special guest as well.
Hopefully.
Yeah. No, we will. Come on.
Yeah. That technology Next week we'll be talking to Ann DeLisi from WDET fame.
Yes.
Ann was a part of the first time the river was on 93.9 FM. And I remember walking past the studio, and I was on 89X at the time, and I remember walking past and going, oh my God, that's Ann DeLisi. Oh my God. I was so excited to see her in the studio. And then I walked past her again, kind of being creepy, and she waved, and it was like no different than like if David Bowie had waved at me. I was so excited to know that I was going to be kind of working in the same building as Ann DeLisi, and ended up making a friendship with her. She's absolutely one of the nicest, sweetest human beings you'll ever meet. She's one of those kind of people that will give everybody, instead of 5 minutes, she'll give them 15 minutes to talk to them.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're going to be talking about some great music stories with her.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So, on that note, Greg, that's the end of the show.
There we go.
So next week, Ann DeLisi, and then don't worry, we're just going to postpone David J over to the 4th. It'll be a great show once we get it all worked out. Thanks everybody for joining us.